Welcome to Sell Your Books Saturday with a quote from Catherine West, who said, "It's important to know who your readers will be and how they will hear about your book." So very true. Hi there, my name is Christopher Diarmani, and it is my pleasure and my passion to empower nonfiction authors just like you, so you can turn your dream of writing a book into your published reality. And one of the ways you do that is by selling your book to the people who are most likely to buy it, most likely to read it, and most likely to have their lives transformed along with it. That's the whole purpose of this, right? So with that, let me get some slides going. There we go. It's critical, of course. It's critical for you to understand clearly who your ideal reader is, who you're writing for. When you know who your ideal reader is, you can craft your work in a way that's going to resonate most deeply with them and not miss the mark and hit someone else. So here's a couple of questions I want you to ask yourself and think about as you're building out your plan, building out your roadmap for author success for your book. Who would be most interested in the book you're writing? Where do they naturally congregate online? Are you writing for a younger audience or an older one, or somewhere in between? The more specific you are with these sort of demographic issues, the easier it is for you to understand and engage with your ideal reader. It truly is. Another thing to think about is the tone that you're writing with. How are you writing it in that respect? Are you engaging, inspiring, humorous, serious, authoritative, somewhere in between, some of all of it? What is the tone you're going to be approaching it with? And the last thing I want you to consider, and this is really a big deal, is learning styles. We all learn in very, very different ways. So you need to provide content in your book, in each chapter, in each section of each chapter, that will address the diverse learning styles that are out there. So you want to be able to make sure that you're resonating with all of them at least once inside every section and inside every chapter. If you're not doing that already, then I want to ask you, will you? Yes, it's more work, you're right. But it's also the work that's going to make your book impactful for the people who read it. Excuse me. Your goal is to ensure, of course, that every single chapter, every section of every chapter connects as deeply as possible with your reader. It doesn't matter what kind of learner they are. You need to be able to address it. That's your job, not theirs. Your job is to make sure you're addressing how they need to learn so that they will grasp the concept you're presenting, understand it, and implement it into their life. Because without the implementation portion of that, they might as well have never read your book. So you need to make sure you're engaging them on all those levels. Now, of course, there's no correct answer. There's no one single answer that's right for everybody. There's no right or wrong, if you will. There's only the answer that's right for your book and for your audience. That's it. Figure out what that is and you will be very successful. So just do as Jace Souter likes to say. Just say yes and take the next action. Do that next thing that's in front of you to do. Whatever that is, do that thing that's going to help put your book in front of the people who are most likely to buy it, to read it, and have their lives transformed because they're taking the actions that you've presented so well inside your book. That's the point of this. When you nail this package together, when you have a cohesive framework for building the structure of your book, and you're addressing all the learning styles, you're using various types of content to make sure you're helping address those learning styles, success becomes fairly simple. Because you've ensured you've done the hard work so your reader has a really easy time of it. That's our job as a writer, is to make sure that it's easy for our reader. And one of the steps to get there is, of course, to make sure that we're putting the book out in the world, that we're marketing our book. There's no point in writing it if we're not going to make sure the people who need it can find it. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And first, of course, yes, I keep forgetting. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and share it, and share in the comments what point struck you the most. I'd be curious to hear. And please connect with me on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and of course on LinkedIn. All the links to all my social media platforms can be found at sleek.bio/Christopher. And if you've not thought about this in great detail before, please take the time to do this before you start writing. Before you start writing. If you're already writing, that's fine. Take a break, perhaps, and do this research so you understand exactly who you're writing for, who your ideal reader is. Because when you know who they are, you know how you need to address them. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bye for now.